What's up, everyone? Shaman Frank Castle.
When you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heist Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. In the darkest of nights, gonna let my light shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. All right. What's up, everyone? Jermaine Man Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme, right here each and every Saturday night on YouTube. Sorcerer Supreme is a full-time job, so tonight I join you solo with no etherical translation whatsoever. However, I do bring diagrams. Don't know how to share them on here, but I do have a camera, and I can hold it up to the other TV, and I don't give a shit. I love you guys so much. I've been having the week. People pray for stuff like this. They pray for answers and good stuff to come, what's going to happen to me, and all the hard work we've been putting in is just paying off a little bit at a time, and I'm not being braggadocious about it. It's just that I would share with you pretty much everything that's going on. Paula went and got her certificate. She's certified for New York City Trap, Neuter, and Release program, the TNR. So now we're the duo, the dynamic duo. Shout outs to the Fearless family. What's up? Shout outs. I love you guys so much. Shout outs to my man Aaron. Him and Nate are going to meet Mother for the first time, I think, tonight. Well, I think Aaron is. I think Nate's been there before. But shout out to my brother. For those being fearless, I salute you. These are important times. Big things are coming. I don't know if I spoke about this last week, but I hit my head pretty hard. I know I spoke about it in the Fearless group for a minute, but weird things are happening. So someone asked me, first of all, I guess you haven't been drinking too much ayahuasca lately, because the story goes from all the crazy shit into self-help somewhat. And it's the truth. It does, because you can't get to where you hear me, and this is not hubristically speaking on my part, but you want this. If that's what you want, then that's what you have to go for. You can't kind of want it, because you're only going to kind of get it then. And if you kind of get it, it's not going to be anywhere near close to the magic that you want. Right? So we take the steps in the right direction each and every day, 10% a week, one thing at a time, small achievements, say yay. You know, it's important. It's really important. How loud my mic is. Check 1, 2. Let me just make it a little louder. I'm trying out all different things, new stuff, so don't mind me. I have the most delicious coffee. Put butter in it. Anyway, so we get to self-help, and I'm going to wrap this around a little bit. I hit my head, and I was seeing the sun disk, the circle with the wings. And it like flew at me, and I hit my head on the corner of the chopping block, which is really not something you want to hit your head on. And instead of seeing stars, I saw this fly at me, and I was kind of like, oh, my head, right? And then I stopped. I was kind of like in my own little moaning fit, and there it was right there. SWAT sticker switches right off Ganesh's like side. it like comes off of him, and it's like beautiful at first, and it's like, oh look, that's the original, and then it twists and molds into, I guess, the Nazi, symbol, right? So they took that and they did what they did with it, but that's not my point. My point is, I'm watching this and I'm going, oh, what's going on? And this young kid, he's like, he's got to be under 20. I keep saying 19. He's young, and he has one of those old rifles where you got to load it, kind of. It's one of those things. He just runs up and boom, his face gets blown right off. And I'm like, I see the hole in the back of his head, and I'm standing off to the side, and I'm like, whoa, 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 what's going on here? Like, I totally wigged out for a moment, and I heard take a breath, and I was like, oh, here we go again. So it jarred this memory free of me being an SS. I hope this doesn't get through the internet the wrong way. Like a young SS officer. But what had happened was, um, I started seeing the science that they were seeing, right? So this kid was privileged to a little bit of information, but he was full of what he felt, this character, right? So it was an enormous amount of pride, almost like they were like a superior race, like almost like they were the aliens that came down and were like, yeah. But then I saw the science behind what they were doing, not the war machine, the science machine behind it. It was really weird. A lot of futuristic technologies, and then beings that were lying to them, telling them, you're the master race. Like the way they were breaking it down was allowing them to turn it into like this weird religious type situation where they're going, we're going to kill everyone, and this is what we're going to do because we're superior and in charge. But I felt the direction he was going in, like what he felt when he took his rifle and he had his thoughts, and they really came from this weird superior place because of DNA, right? Once again, DNA. So I kept all the good stuff. The bad stuff is what it is. It's just a life that's, a fractal that was lived out there at one point or another. And it was over quickly. Okay. But the knowledge that was taken in, it was almost like Source needed to understand all the directions, almost like there's the black background and we're going to throw a speck of light into it. And that speck of light is going to multiply into lots of lights, and they're going to have to eat their way through the board, which is like cutting your way through the forest, creating paths, neural pathways, because as above, so below. And oh gosh, it was just so intense to take that. But what started happening then after that is I was keeping gnosis, right? So I've been wondering when this is really going to happen. Like, when is the kick in going to come? Like, oh, I was this guy over here, and then I was this girl over here, and this kid over here. It's not quite, I know my name, I know where I was from, but I'm getting one after another, just like a lot of times it's good stuff too, like how to work with an animal, or something that I would have been through already. And I'm having a feeling, and I'm kind of like, I don't like that feeling. And the character then comes out. I'm seeing the fractal who had that emotion attachment to him. And I believe, I want to say this, and I know Aaron agreed with me, but we've been doing light yoga. Did a little bit before the show. Like, I'm like cracking out on it. I can't get enough of it. It's really, really delicious. So anyway, so I'm in crying and in pain as I'm pushing through. Those things are releasing memories like that. And then also good stuff too. Good stuff that's being wrapped in with overlay after overlay. It's like when you push through the pain, I couldn't sit with my feet touching each other and my legs in at all. Now I have my knees bent all the way, like almost like this high off the floor. And it's been a little over a week, but we took 2 days off because I overstretched and I hurt myself. And once again, take your time. If you have the injury, you run into something like this, take the time to let it heal, just like you healing from the memory of seeing something like that. I don't want to be the one here saying, well, in one of my fractals, I was one of the bad guys or the Nazis or the this. It's just an experience. And there's a reason for that experience, by the way, too. You gain that exact amount of information that needs to be taken back to source, because yes, there is a deception. Yes, there was all these things going on. Yes, there still is these things going on. But how would you root out that evil? or that darkness, or it's not really the darkness, it's what hides inside that looks back at you. Okay. Well, how do we know how far they're going to take it? Well, like someone like you or I might say, well, we don't need to wait for them to eat babies. Like, we need to take care of this now. But Source kind of has this thing, because for everything you hear, there's a million more things that you're not hearing that's out there. And it's almost like Source is like, we're going to get that information. We're going to see how dark the evil goes, right? So I know how much light to just shoot into it, because Source was showing me some stuff where, regardless of what's going on, I am experiencing both sides. You realize that? Like, I'm not really for either side winning or this or that. We know it has to happen, but I'm experiencing this from every direction. So Source has a different take on it. It's experience and understanding and gnosis, so then it knows what to do, right? I can't correct the problem until I see how far this goes. That's why they don't just step in and you have to step up. You have to have had enough. You have start getting those feelings as the energy's eating away at those overlays, which I say all the time. Overlay. What is an overlay? It's like taking a condom and putting it over your head, right? And then it's like tight to your body, but you're not aware that it's there. And on the screen in front of you that's pressed to your face, you can't, even though it's translucent and you can kind of see through, right? You're not seeing in HD, and then there's things added to the screen that you see. So you would say it's how your body's programmed. And but we have to be metaphorical, because they'll show you stuff, and you'll get the understanding of it, but that might not be how it transpires, right? So they just show it to you so you understand it. That's why I use the body condom joke. But you pull it over, and then they project an image on the screen, or they only allow you to see certain things in the environment that were once there. You were 100%, and then they got you with another body condom and another one and another one and another one, and each time it started cutting things out, and then they started showing it to you from perspectives to make you think a certain way. So we're breaking through all that, right? Another great way to think about it is if you were in a block of cement or concrete or whatever, and stone, you're just a big chunk of stone, and you start carving your way out of that stone. It cracks one day, and then this happens and that happens, and then you're able to wiggle your fingers out, and then you realize, wait, I could break out of this a little, and then from over there you can see half the body out, but you're not really there. I think I'm woke. I'm not really woke. I'm like woke light, diet woke. I'm not quite sure. And then one day you breaking free, and you're like, well, now I'm made of stone. I don't know what this is. It's heavy. And then as you start walking, the magic starts to come back, and the movement and the motion and the intent and the thought and the consciousness settles in, and it rests, and boom, it shatters, and you realize that you are made of light. You just crusted up like some fluoride in the pipes in the bathroom, and you had to decrud that, get in there and scrape that shit out. It's really difficult to do. People don't want to do it, but you know what? It's not really about what you want to do. It's about what you should do for yourself, right? A lot of times we talk about, where's my pen? I go, it's everything from Tony Robbins. All right, you're going to like this. Everything from Tony Robbins to aliens in outer space, interdimensional talking basketballs that have jewels on them, to Ra, to the source itself and Mother Aya. Tony Robbins was on hotboxing with Mike Tyson, I guess like a week ago or so. And they were sharing ayahuasca and experiences, which Mike has not done Aya, but he has done the toad medicine. Do you know the toad? Have you ever heard of the toad? That's his big catch line now. You ever heard of the toad? So he was discussing how it didn't even work the first time. He heard all about it. He doesn't do any drugs at all. no alcohol. He has these 12-hour sets he does on stage. So that guy's racing like crazy, right? He's just, I'm here to save the day. You got to think healthy, and he does it again and it works, right? And he talks about it going through hell and then coming out of hell and being in like that divine state or meeting source or the creator or that energy itself. Never quite still get the stories that there's just a select few of crew that I know personally. I know it's happening to a whole slew of other people out there, but in the FearLess group, there's a couple. But it's funny to hear people like when Joe Rogan talks about it, when Mike Tyson talks about it, he talks about his ego shrinking and that he gets 1,000 years of information or 1,000 lifetimes of information in 15 minutes from the toad medicine, which is basically DMT. And but it's its own consciousness within itself, so it's not exactly DMT. Everybody has its own path, but all roads lead to Oz in the end, right? It's just the teacher that you decide to choose to go with. So they're experiencing that, while some of us are experiencing the inner thoughts and he said he had a conversation with himself, Tony Robbins. He's like, oh, we had this giant, my higher self and I had a talk, and then for 12 days, every day when he woke up, he felt like that divine. I don't know if the word divine is the right energy, like supercharged by the energy. That's source energy. When my restrictor came off, we all have that tether to source. Mine was like being choked out. It was like I didn't even know what that was. I was like, what is that? It looks like a little light thing coming out of my head, like a straw. And they were like, you like cocaine? And I'm like, not really. I was like, it's kind of more of a way I can kind of maybe get into doing music, and it starts to work a certain way. I don't really party with people like that. It's not dirty. It's more like I'm getting away from them and doing music. And they're like, yeah, we heard all that before. You ready for this? Bink, it came off and it opened like that wide. I didn't even know what was going on. It was like pure bliss, but you could only have that pure bliss for so long when you've never had it, right? So you're just like, and then you're like, okay, enough. Back that down. I'm having a heart attack. Having a heart attack from my own energy. Yeah, that's something, isn't it? That's some bullshit right there. So we're removing these overlays, and it's important when we hear people like Tony Robbins and Mike Tyson sitting there just going back and forth. Yeah, Mike's all about the toad. That's what he's about specifically. And I keep putting it out there. I would bring Tyson in to the ayahuasca realm. I would love that. I'll be like, look, man, I'll be your shaman. I won't even drink with you. I'll sit there and make sure everything's A-okay with you, bro. Although I would love to just sit there and drink it with him and go under with him. That would be great. I know it's crazy. Sounds crazy. A man like that could completely just tear my head off if he lost his shit. Tony Robbins was talking about they tied him down because they were afraid he was he's very with his hands, and he's big guy, and he'd go for his own eyes. So they tied him up and he fucking broke free. He's like, I broke free and was running just everywhere, and it was hell for 1 hour, and they were chasing him. You got to do what you got to do. We had a guy swinging our ficus around the house, just completely losing his shit, just holding it in his hand and just swinging. The ficus tree's outside. It's bigger than me for sure. Right. It is what it is. Some people lose it that way. Some people shit themselves. Some people cry until they can't cry no more. Some people just stare. Others don't know what to think. They want to start praying right away to masters and stuff. It's you. It's all you. Even Tyson says that. In the end, it's you. We're all connected. He goes, I was the rock. I was the mountain. I was the tree. I was the grass. I'm everything. And what do I always say? We're made up of the whole thing. It's the all. It doesn't mean some. It doesn't mean a couple. It doesn't mean many. It doesn't mean most. It means all of it. Gandalf's in the background. Yeah, I got baby Parker in here tonight. If you guys maybe could send some love and energy. He doesn't look good. He let me grab him just right off the floor outside. He was kind of like had this stupid look on his face. And I know cats. And when I have a stupid look on my face and I'm like, "You okay?" And you're not running from me because I'm Frankenfoot, I just scooped them, took them inside. So just send them some energy. These cats, they get shit in their eyes, and I don't know, man. It's like a respiratory infection or something. But now that we're both certified, you can't just come up in here and try to kill a cat near us. You know that. And if we're saying we're working, you're not allowed to come in here and do anything. I'm allowed to trap, neuter, and release anywhere in New York City as long as I just have my information out and branded. Not that that's a big deal, but just to let people know what you're doing. But for my sake, you can't just walk up into my place and go, "Oh, what's going on? I'm certified cat rescue, son." It doesn't mean the house is a rescue. It just means any cat around that's being tended to around here that we're like, "Oh, that's with us. That's with you're done. You're beat. You got to get out of here. Bye." Nothing you can do about it, including homeowners. You could try. It's against the law, 100%. So it makes me feel good. Okay, so we're working in progressions to get forward and get ahead in these times, in these positive. I don't have any time for any shit but my own, or my own stuff, I should say. I'm sorry. I curse a lot, and I smoke on camera. Cannabis, that's my medicine. So I'm sorry if it offends you, but it shouldn't. If that's triggering you, go get untriggered, come back. Mew Baka. All right. One of the amazing things that happened to me this week, I finally got to go to the beach with Paula, and it was awesome. It was awesome, but some weird stuff was going on. So it was the most beautiful day you can have at the beach without being too hot. But I did get color. I was roasting that day. It was like 2 days ago, and I was laying out on the beach, and the clouds were all flat bottoming really low. Now I'm in the Bronx, so naturally the beach here isn't that uber awesome, but nobody's really swimming. But we're hanging out. I think it's the Long Island Sound. We're like right off the side of it. So the clouds, I kind of was falling asleep, right? I got really stoned. And I was like, I feel great. And I laid back. I had all my crystals with me. I actually drew a circle around us. I got up. I says, "This is the sacred circle. Nothing could get in the circle," and nothing did. Nothing. There were people running all over the place. Nobody stepped on the circle, which was really funny. I was like, man, that shit really works. It just never. It oh, I'm sorry. It always amazes me every time, even though I know it's gonna work and it's supposed to work and it's meant to work. So it's like a casual thing. Nobody said, "Hey, what's with the circle on the floor?" People just randomly doing their stuff, and it's not like I'm sitting there going, "Don't step on the fucking circle, or I'm gonna go nuts." It's nothing like that. Little kids were running everywhere, and then they would just stop as if they were gonna come running right across our where the chairs are and everything. And we were eating lunch, and the kids would just stop, but just turn and go, "Oh," okay, and then just run away. And I'm like, man, Paul, this works great. So anyway, I'm passing out and I'm looking up. I got my hands back and I close my eyes and I start going, man, you guys talk a lot of shit about these flat bottom clouds being ships, right? You'd think you'd know if it is. And then I start hearing them just going. Like, where do you think we are? We've been here the whole time. Nobody's ever gone anywhere. It's just chess moves. So we've been here literally. Now we're packing in, but we've been here the whole time. There's always been a presence here for sure. And I'm like, man, there's been no chemtrails here till today. Today there was chemtrails all day today and last night, but it's been like close to a month. And I'm like, so what are you guys doing with the chemtrails? They're like, every time we get one of those lightning storms, because we've had a couple of them lately, it like ionizes the atmosphere and everything feels great. Like the rain doesn't feel like that shitty rain that was infected with AI. So they're like, yo, the energy coming through, the storm itself, what's charging this planet right now and coming from space and coming from you and coming from us, and is just that shit's just falling out of the sky. It's just falling down because I notice people waking up around me. I have very close people that I kind of didn't complain about a few weeks ago. It's just rough sometimes. Every family has situations, but they're just doing it themselves. Um, I was chatting with my mother, and I love my mother. She's my best friend. but she said something to me. I said something. She was talking about something, and then I responded to her, and then she had that look like, "Meh," and I was like, no, it's like this because she goes, no, I just need to get over my own shit. This is just stuff I have to get over. So I looked at her like, oh, so you are seeing that, like all we're doing is throwing love at everyone, and that's freaking everyone out. I think. Like we never changed, we never wavered, we never said "fuck you," we hate you, or "bah, my family." We didn't do any of that. We said, "I love you. How much more are you going to let me love you? Because I'm just going to keep throwing buckets at you. I'm not going to stop. So if you're going to get mad, yeah, and I'm going to get mad, even I'm just going to douse that fire with love." I don't really even know how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to be unwavering with that attempt, and I have been. I've stood my ground and walked and held others up along the way instead of putting them down and saying, "Get back. My future is upon us, and I'm transforming and changing into light beings and shit and ships and light things." And they don't want to hear. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Nobody. Trust me. There's a select few. We're here. There's a few over at TFR. There's a few over at the other places. But the majority don't want to hear that, right? There's almost like there's one for each family, maybe two, right? Because families are pretty big and they echo outward. So for every black sheep, you have yourself a pin drop that's going to be a connection to the Rainbow Bridge, who's going to come off first as the black sheep of your family, who's really just, in the end, we're going to see these things a little more clearly. And you're going to say, wow, they were eating out that energy and taking that dark shit that no one else can deal with because we're all regular people running through whatever systems and programs we're running through. This person is like, I'm getting this the fuck out of my house. And then you wind up being like the black sheep of the family. And it's like, well, he does drugs or he fucking parties. It's like, yo, dude, I'm transmuting all your shit. I got 5 generations of people here. What are you kidding me? We got every age group. We got everyone from 90 to 5 in every bracket, every, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It's going to be 99 upstairs. I talk to her every day. So almost 100. Shout out to my FearLess family. What's up, guys? I love you. I'm trying to read the comments, but I'm also ranting a little bit. So we're trying to do all these things. So when I was talking to Aaron, I was trying to tell him like what happened to me while I was laying there. So I'm laying there looking up, and there was a cloud out of nowhere. It was really low over the beach. It was high, but it was really low for the beach. You could just see everything around. You're like, well, that's weird. That cloud is right there. So I never get dizzy, but I opened my eyes and you could see almost through the cloud and it was just right there. And I was in and out of the consciousness. And I started going, oh, what is that? And they were like, relax. We're going to give you like a healing. Just relax. You guys have been soaking in all this dark stuff for so long, meaning specifically Paula and myself, not being able to get to the beach, not being able to clear out. Well, we're realizing that we're on this timer, this galactic timer, right? And the new moon's coming. All this shit was shedding and releasing, and it was like last possible minute, last day, get to the beach, and then boom, best day ever. And you're like, whoa. I started like vibrating, right? Parts of my body. I was like, whoa. They're like, yeah, you like that. You've been you've been stretching, so now it's coming out, but you're releasing toxins, and those toxins are what draw in the negative entities. You'd be surprised the negative things, embarrassments or whatever, deaths, and et cetera, throughout lifetimes, things that have damaged you are hiding in places in you that you wouldn't expect, right? I'm like, yeah, it's almost like thoughts of being tied up and thrown in a ditch and then having myself buried in dirt by a bunch of guys hitting me with shovels. It came back as I stretched through it. And then I was like, whoa. But then it felt great. And I had that anxiety of being tied, and I had my arms behind me doing those stretches, and I started panicking. And then boom, it just went away. It's like, I don't want that. That's not the kind of stuff I want in my life. That was a time of, yeah, I get it. Yeah, forgive me, forgive others. I'm doing it. I love you guys, but I'm not sitting in that. I don't want that attached to whatever was in my hip. But man, now I'm on my way. I told Paula, I made a joke to her. There was a picture of Van Damme, and he had his leg just straight up in the air, and he was holding his foot. And I was like, that's going to be me in a year, maybe 2 years. Give me a break, right? But I said, it gives me something to stretch for. Whether I can ever do that or not, I don't know. But even though I'm injured and I'm in a lot of pain, I feel good. I'm just injured though. And if I could somehow work my way through that, I think I can do it. I really think I can. There's something in me that just doesn't see it and go, yeah, I want to do that. I'm like literally grabbing my foot while sitting on the floor going, no, I think I can do that. And then I'm getting images of me as like a yogi or like a Hindu guy, wearing no shirt, nipple pierced, just like me, wearing the thing on his head, and he's doing this thing. And he's got these really cool, like Aladdin pants on. He's got these beads around his neck. And I'm like, this guy's, that looks like me. And they're like, no, it's you. Watch. And then the hand goes behind him and the arm twists all the way around. I'm like, whoa. And then I see him doing this and touching elbow stuff. And I'm like, whoa, that's pretty flexible right there. And then he starts contorting his body. And I'm like, wow, I don't actually want to do anything like that. And they were like, no, but that's you. So there's a you that does that. See? And I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. Next thing I know, I'm watching one of the Gracie brothers doing that breathing technique where he sucks in his stomach all the way. If you've never seen this, type in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu breathing technique where the guy's stomach like collapses in and goes up in his rib cage. He was in the Incredible Hulk movie with Ed Norton teaching him how to do it. And then he like slaps him for not concentrating. That guy is amazing, right? But he does this thing. So when he's doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, his air is, he's got it, bro. You're not punching him in his stomach and knocking the wind out of him. He's in full control of that. So he could just roll on the floor with you. Me, I roll on the floor and sit like an egg or something, and I'm out of breath. I'm like, Paula, hold the move, man. Right? Like, come on, give me a fucking break. Right? So I want to learn that stuff. I want to know why you're doing it. And fuck, they always told us to stretch. In gym class, in baseball, in football, in fucking wiffle ball, stretch. Don't throw your arm out. Throw a few warm-ups, warm up, stretch. And you're like, yeah, I stretched. I touched my toes. Stretched. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, hold any one of those movements for a minute. That's a stretch. So you start to go, I fucking love you too. All right, so we're pushing through that, and then that stuff's not connected to us anymore. All right, so the tissue breaks up, whatever's in our blood circulates better. Here was another thought I had. Shout outs to Ra, by the way. I said, what if religion, because they always say if you do yoga, it like releases demons or it brings demons or something. I've heard that so many times. Like, don't do that. That's no good for you. You bring in monsters and fuck. You stick fingers in your butt and they take you in outer space. I don't know. So I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure the devil doesn't come when you do fucking yoga, because yoga and stretching are the same fucking thing. So let's think about this for a second. We're just changing definitions, right? Well, when I start stretching, though, as a good Christian man would, because I'm like, well, you know what? I like wrestling, and DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, does yoga. He's helping people. I'm going to do that. Now, that guy hears that demons come when you do yoga, but he sees all these people getting healed, right? So then he goes and does the yoga, but it's hard. It's hard for everyone who doesn't fucking stretch. So it's everyone has these problems. It's just at the level of problem, that you have them at. And he stretches, and the first demons fucking released from him, not brought to him, released from him. Now, anyone who's been blindsided by bullshit would say, all right, check it out. I saw the demons. I stopped immediately. I need God, Jesus, and all that shit. But that's not what's up. But it's a part of the process that it releases. So it's not necessarily a demon, by the way. I'm metaphorically. I've seen everything from memories to DNA to injury stuff. Just everything. It's everything, including the bad shit, especially the bad stuff. Now, a guy who can't reach down and touch his toes, you'd be sure that if something, a parasites, that's another one, are going to attach to you etherically, when you can't bend. So you're like, I can't. Well, under a different, if I had more awareness and I was looking, I might see an octopus, a tentacle attached to his back permanently until you unpermeate it. Well, it's stuck. Oh, it's stuck? What system of yoga am I practicing? The very, very beginner baby yoga for people that have disabilities and issues with back and neck trauma. Sorry. I actually, all right. So when I complete an actual video, I put it in the YouTube, on my YouTube page under stretching. There's a playlist. By the way, like, subscribe, share. That'd be great. I'm not sure if that little, I'm supposed to have a little fearless tribe thing up in one of the corners. I don't know if that's showing, but I did do that. So it's supposed to be there. If it's not there, yeah, baby yoga. All right. So, but I'm a big fat baby. All right, Nicole, I think you wrote this the other day, right? Big fat, when I was talking about being a big fat baby. I'm a 45-year-old man who's actually a child in an adult uniform but I'm a man. We're big fat babies. We don't know no better. Mommy, daddy, mommy. What are you drinking eye for? To go to mommy. What's mommy going to do? Mommy's going to tell me and make everything okay, right? It's like, well, yes and no. You see, it is like mommy's going to make everything all right by telling you, look, it's going to be all right. I love you and I'm going to hold you, but you're going to have to go through this. This is something that you're going to have to do, but I'm right here with you. So she doesn't really make everything go away. She makes you feel a little better having you there, right? Everybody has that one person. If they were just there cheering you on or looking in, you can do it. Man, I can fucking do it for that one, If you came in the room, I get fucking Paula, I'll do it for Paula right now. I'll do it for me. I'll do it for Paula. I'll do it for my fucking cat. Look at that cat right there. That little kitten right there. I'll fucking do it for that. Right there. Okay. So you go to ayahuasca and it's like going to mommy. And then what does she do? She just shows it to you from perspectives. And then you're like, holy fuck. All right. So baby yoga for babies, right? Being a contortionist isn't my thing. Yeah, I want to throw kicks up in the air, but I don't want to kick no one. I want to have really good balance. Man, I want to sleep without being stiff because I have 2 pinched nerves. I have 5 bulging discs. Very difficult for me to do most anything. But I'm ready to do stuff. Whatever creatively is going to start pumping out of me. All right, so I was telling this to Aaron. We were having this talk. I was telling him how I was having, I guess it was my higher self explaining it to me. While I was sitting on the beach, I saw a sphere, right? And on that sphere was us, right? So it was a circle with all these so it looked like a little sun and it was spinning, right? And the wheel, it was the sphere is spinning and there's people all over it. But the lights were bright and then dim. And then I saw another sphere pull up and it was turning and it looked like a clock. So now I'm like seeing these 2 spheres spinning and I'm like, well, that's weird. That's pretty interesting, actually. But I have no clue what's going on. And they're like, can you hear the sun? And I'm like, sun, it's me, sun, it's me, sun. And they were like, yeah, I guess you can hear the sun. So I'm looking and the sun pops up as a 3rd sphere, but it was a little smaller. It was like a little further away. So I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. So the 2 spheres, one was a little higher than the one we were on here. got a little closer. Sun got a little brighter. Started talking. I'm like, oh shit. He's going, take my hand. Take my good hand, right? And I'm like, what's he saying? Why is he saying take my hand? I'm not taking your hand. I'm not taking nobody's hand. What the fuck am I? Right? And I went around the sphere that we were all on. And I'm like, wait, what? I want to get the fuck out of here. I want to get the fuck. Then the sun was like, take my hand. Take my other good hand. And I was like, I don't know who this guy is. Get the fuck away from me. Leave me alone. Blip, 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 blip. Went around again. Oh, third time's a charm. I come back around and I'm like, man, I don't feel right. And I saw the sun. I was like, what the fuck is on my face? And I started peeling off this black coating. And I looked and it looked like Venom from the movie, like black goo that attaches to you. And then in the movie, he's a fucking villain or a superhero, or whatever you want to call him now. But and it turns him into this big monster-like thing, and he's kind of, oh, look how cool, how scary. Me, it wasn't like that. It was just the black coating. Like fucking tar, man. Get this off my face. Wait, what? And I'm looking back, and as the light's shining onto my face, it's peeling off, and it was disturbing to look at. But I was going, oh, my dude, I thought I cleared this shit off me. Get this off me. And as I started pulling out, the sun goes, take my good hand. Take my hand. Take it. And I look up and I go, fuck yeah, I'm taking your hand. Boom, help me, man. I need help getting, what the fuck is this? And the hand was in this, the arm came out of the sun and fucking pulled me up onto the second sphere, free of all that black gooey shit. And I heard the snap of the last piece pop off. And I was like, oh. And then I was up in this sphere. And I'm like, oh. But this sphere was different. I was aware of everything in the first sphere and the second and the sphere that I was on and the third one and the sun. And then I was looking around and I was quite aware of everything that was going on. And I was like, oh, look at this. And I started having the gnosis of being the creator again, the all. And I was like, oh, wait a second, you guys, you got to come with me. Come on, let's go. And people were just reaching out. And we were just reaching back to them. Boom, pulling them out. And the sphere just spun and I would grab people, but people were coming around the first sphere. Their lights were almost completely dim. And they were just going round and round and round. But we had this giant opportunity now where the sun could melt it off. If you're paying attention, you see that, oh, this isn't correct. How could this be correct? Yes, the symbiote. And you just start releasing. And as you're like, yo, I want this off, the sun then says, I've been calling to you. Have you been hearing me? You don't hear me? I love you. I forgive you. I've been here the whole time, though. Take my hand. And everyone just started taking everyone's hand, and we were fucking bringing them up onto the next sphere. And then the other one, it's like never not been there. Everything's always been in place. It's just that there's this galactic clock. It's a universal thing, but well, galactic, whatever. And as the wheels spin and turn and lock, everything floats in place certain ways and travels from this place to this place unabated. And so this can meet this at this time and into this energy in this area over here, because you start here and it moves around and around and around, and you're on the ride coming up. It's your awareness level. We're all getting a chance to break free. The sun is doing something, is spitting out energy that's allowing this shit to just peel off your face. Right? So I need more coffee. Could you guys give me 10 seconds? Coffee's really delicious tonight, and I kind of don't want to miss out on it. I love you guys so much. Yeah, so we're getting these opportunities, And as I look back, um, it was the old sphere of thinking. It's the old way of thought, but it doesn't go away. Uh, it goes away from us as an individual and moves further back, right? But we're still aware of how it was and how it is because we're not under amnesia anymore. We're slowly breaking out of that kind of stuff. And you never forget it because you remember where you came from. But it's like looking at your old school. Like I graduated. That's where I graduated from, St. Clair's. But I go to St. Raymond's now. That's for the older kids, bro. Yeah. And then you graduate high school and you're like, bro, I went to St. Clair's, then I went to St. Raymond's, right? Then I went to Fordham. You know, it is what it is. And you do different things at those different curriculum in each of those spaces in each of those buildings. Wow, I had my nose broken so many times. Look at that. You could see how small. I just noticed that shit. Sorry about that. So glad the old ways are gone. That's right, Rocks. Don't fuck with me though. I'll knock you the fuck out. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love you. I love you. Come over and say hi. When interrupted while we're doing this. So we're getting a chance to even view the old way of thinking and go, that doesn't suit me any longer. I don't want that in my life. I don't want that to be part of me. It was part of me at one point. Things went down. Hey, look, I'm a human. Everyone here is human. It's just who's driving the human machine, right? To get here, there's a select few things that you need to do. So, yeah, I'll connect it right there. Aaron and I had a 3-hour conversation. It might have been longer. It might have been like 4 hours. And I wrote down some stuff, but I'm keeping it general. I wanted to have these conversations open with Paula, but she, this new energy, man, is just putting her to sleep. Like magic, go to sleep. And I was up and then I slept for 14 hours and then 14 hours later, hey, what's up? Sorry, I didn't cook, but I'm just going to lay here. But you can see you're drained. It's completely drained out. This new energy is a shit kicker. I thought about it too. I love to go live now. The video thing has really got me going. I'm enjoying it, but I know it's the long weekend, and I wanted to be there to be a voice for the long weekend in case people like us were just going to be hanging out. I'm not going anywhere. I'm making my house my vacation spot. So I look to the left, I see Roxy. I look to the right, I have the iPad. I have every video game that I would want, even though I don't really play video games. I have action figures that would make your toddler just shit his pants and be like, "Daddy, take me to the toy store," and on and on and on. So I'm covered with everything I need. I don't really need anything more. I would like some stuff to change and be different for sure, but and then everything that I can change now is changing. I'm doing that change now, so it's done. Right. Um, One of the things when you realize when with ayahuasca, or we were talking about Aya and who she is, right? So I was like, well, that's Mother Earth. And I'm going to bring Aaron on one day when I could bring people on. And we're going to have this conversation. It was so good. But to come here, you need to be made of her, right? If you really are going to be a creator on the planet, right? You're a creator being. You have to come through birth, like a natural birth on the planet. Those who are cloned, those who are grown in jars or whatever. I'm not snapping on any of you, or a spaceship, and then they come down, they steal Frank's DNA and they make a Frank up on the spaceship, and then they put him down here, and then they put their guy in the Frank flesh robot over in Alaska or something, and they're like, well, here's the science, here's the experiment, because everything's experiments to these beings. And then the amnesia is what everyone has, and those without the amnesia, better watch for those, right? The ones that just straight know what's going on, not like us, the ones that have I can't. There are beings just walking around that know, right? Like we got one, he can see, those guys. they're not made up to par. And not everyone's a creator. And that's just the fucking way it is. And I don't write the story. I can just tell you what I see. And not everyone's a creator. So it's a special thing to be here, to be born of the planet. So you're born through mother, Aya, to get here. Then through a lineage, like a Russian nesting doll, big, a little smaller, and you keep passing out till we get to me right here. Bing. And I show up. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And really, all you did was shoot me through this wire, this electrical impulse that came through the planet. And the planet has a soul, right? There's one of us, a creator being, all right, who can handle the workload of the whole, right? Thank you, Alan Blunt. Thank you so much. So we're shot down. You have to go through her. So you have her DNA, which is everything. We're in the living library. Then those that would deceive you, right? Check this out. Those that would make the bodies to put you in, because we were already here. I'm going to build this weird picture for you. We were already light beings on the planet as caretakers, so she can become Earth. So her soul can go and do the biologics, and then we can come and live on them. Then the trick happens. Okay? So now, we're in a trick, and we're in this weird loop. So I'm in a human body, and how did I get here? So you're born through to get the human suit. We didn't have a human suit. We had light bodies. We got tricked in, and then we didn't know what was going on. You come through her. We go through history now up to now. She's screaming, help me. Mother's pretty much put a call out to the universe. Send help. We simultaneously hear a call to ayahuasca, or to wake up of some kind. And we take the necessary steps to go and drink Aya and have that experience. And we go back to mother. And what does she do? She helps us. She doesn't necessarily save us, but she helps you save yourself, right? And then you're like, yeah, well, check this shit out. She's the one that's in fucking pain, because we're being a bunch of pain. So as above, so below. But we were already here. And then this attack thing happened. And then she sends the call out. And then we show up to help. Right? Flip that for a second. Think about that. It was us originally that came here as guardians of the planet, before the planet was filled with stuff. Oh, wow. Thank you, Oracle Eyes. Thank you so much. Thank you for being out there. I'd love you so much. Oh, my. This is my first super chat. So, whoa. I love you guys so much, and you gals. We were the lines around her as a sun. She was the sun. When we're all stars in the sky, we shine like the sun. Stars are suns. That's an entity. It's a being in there. Well, she went through grammar school, high school, college, this, that, and boom, she's like, I can handle a planet. So they put guardians on the planet, caretakers, to allow this to occur. Those caretakers get trapped in bodies when other beings come with nefarious reasons, things to do, experiments and dark this and shit, and archons and spiders and lizard men and all that other shit. It's all true. All that stuff is true. But they come in and they trick you, just like Osiris, right? He tricks him, get in the coffin. Well, where's his consciousness go? Because the coffin isn't a coffin. He's not dead. They're taking that consciousness and shooting it out into everything and separating it. Why? Because he's sitting in a box that looks like a coffin, but it's really one of those pods that we wake up in and out in. So as above, so below. They trick him in the box, separate his consciousness out. Now it's returning, right? It's all a title. All this stuff is just titles. Thank you so much, April. Wow, you guys are the best. If I start getting emotional, I'm blaming each and every one of you. I'm coming to visit everyone. I love you so much. All right, so We were originally the guardians here, literally, to let her bring it up so she can raise up. And we all got caught in this mess. But then she calls out to the universe, I'm in pain, help me. And we wake back up. And we were the ones she was calling out for the whole time. The universe sent us originally because Source already knows. We already knew. So the bad guys, right? They're trick you, put you in your body. Ha, we got him. He's got 3% awareness. Yeah, but we already knew you were going to do that. So we came back to the very beginning to be the host guardians. I was the blade of grass. I was the water. I was the rain. I was the elemental. I was the frog. I was the fucking, it was the piece of wood. I was the cat. I was the dog. I was the mouse. I went through the whole thing just to get here and go, surprise, motherfucker. We knew you were coming the whole time. And Source wanted to root you out. Wanted to root you out from the, wants to experience it, but also wants to get rid of it. Wants to know how dark it could get, to know how much light we need to bring. How do we know the situation if we don't send someone in? So they put some disguises on us and we wear masks and go through, oh, look, this is Horus and this is Sekhmet and this is Anubis and this guy's a rich guy and this guy's a poor guy and this guy's a this guy and this girl's a princess and this one's a president and this one. And then bang, lights come on. What's up, homie? Oh, you thought, but you didn't know that I knew that you know that you didn't know that I knew? What the fuck's wrong with you? You do realize it's the creators, right? We're not talking about something less. And in my eyes, nothing's less, but unfortunately, there has to be a hierarchy in this situation. You wanted God in the room, you got him. Now, what do you want to do about it? Because I see what you're doing, and I'm not happy. So we have the responsibility as caretakers. When I say I don't need fucking permission, I was born here. I came through an etheric vagina to get here. Checked off everything on my fucking list before I got here, before I could get on the air with all of you and have that gnosis to make the choice to come out here and do this. You're not going to fucking tell me. You're not keeping me away from ayahuasca. You're not keeping me away from weed. You're not keeping me away from true love. I'm going to get clean water. I'm going to get what I need to food and, clothing and this and that. Like, we're going to change this. I don't need you to tell me I can't plant on my front lawn or on the side of my house, or if nothing's infringing on anyone's stuff, fuck off. Right? Does it look like a hazard with the animals around here other than the couch? I forgot to fold the stuff that Paula's going to kill me when she sees this. Other than that, so you see something wrong? No, mind your fucking business. Get out of here. I'm here to protect them. Literally. They didn't ask to be here. Right? Look, we all got jobs to do and we all got a purpose. You got to start standing in your oneness. Like, some people have a problem with thinking you're the all. What's so hard to think? We're all connected. We're all connected. Where's that go to? What does that go to? If I say we're all connected, you're the rock, you're the tree, you're the water, you're the fucking Frank, you're the Mary, you're the Philip, you're the Ralph. What does that lead to? It sounds like it leads to prime creator to me. Prime source prime. That's all. It all goes back to the one. All roads lead back to Oz. Okay, so at what time do I need to come in the room and tell you I'm a representative of the whole thing? Like, I have somebody helping me with the animals at first. And, the animal with the bad eye, Gandalf, the gray, she immediately was like, oh, we'll come over. I'll bring the guy. We'll take the cat. We'll get the eye taken out and we'll sew it up. And then we'll take Mama from under the bed. She got hit by a car. And then we took her. The other guy didn't want her. We fucking took her, put her under the bed. She's getting better. And she's like, yeah, we'll go put her down because we know she's in pain. And I'm like, all right. So let's make a few things clear before we continue. Old me would be like, get the fuck out. You'd have a problem with me. I'd want to punch everybody. But I'm not like that anymore at all. Right? New me, I'm kind of like, so you're telling me I came down from the highest dimensions. I pierced through every fucking one face first. And you want me to remove a cat's eye who might get the eye back. You want me to kill The mama, the grandmama cat who's been with me, I know her since day one. I have all her kittens and they're kittens. And you want me to kill her. You want me to round up the cats and put them to sleep humanely because that's what blah, blah, blah. Well, I can tell you for sure I didn't come from the highest realms to come down here to kill kittens. I'm going to say it once. I'm not going to say it again. The next time they'll just be the problem. You can just get up and leave. Okay? Because we're done here then. And all became understood across the board. I was like, I'm the fucking creator. There's not two ways to do this. There's 1,000. There's 1,000,000. There's 20 that I'm seeing, and there's 25 I'm not seeing. And there's 360 that I'll get with one post on Facebook with a question. Who the fuck do people think they are? You know, right away, we'll get them, we'll kill them. How about not? How about we take killing off the table? Right. But see, people are, thank you, Nicole, so much. Thank you so much. I love you. You got to, people sometimes talk and they don't realize they're in the loop. Yes, it is humane to put a cat down or an animal that is suffering. What happens when nobody's suffering? Then what do? You're just killing cats. Oh, well, we could get into the abortion issue if you want, or we can get into just sniping a little kid in Israel, right? We could just shoot Palestinians, bang, right? That's okay. Oh, well, because he's a Jew, right? So that makes it okay? Or he's not a Jewish enough? What is that? Or is he too dark skinned? We need to send him back to Mexico? Like, what are you getting at? You want to just kill people? So the bum on the corner, should we poison him? Is that gonna solve the problem? You'll just eradicate them off the board. You know, the more you get people talking, the more they sound like someone out of a comic book. But yet we're the weirdos. And I'm no hippie. That cat lives a better life. Like there is no tomorrow. Every moment's just fucking precious. And I'm gonna live like that. I'm gonna take my advice from watching how that cat lives rather than listen to someone that tells me they have expertise in different things and all this other shit. I don't need your permission. If I do, I'll come. I'm not going to need your permission, but if I need something, I'll come and ask. You know, I'll ask another creator being, someone who has a little love in their fucking heart. But it's fine. We all have our place. I'm not here to judge you. You might save 1,000,000 cats. You might kill 1,000 out of those millions because you're saving 1,000,000, right? I don't know. I don't fucking know. That's not my job. And I'm not here to fight you. That's another thing. I'm not here to fight. If I see something and I'm aware of it and I don't like it, you know, I could vote with my dollar. I could shut the fuck up and move on and say, we're never coming here again. You know, I could choose to just not walk down that path at all, whatever the hell that means. We have to take responsibility for the stuff that's in front of us sometimes and not really worry about the shit outside. Because as you can see, everything's a deception. So there's a lot of times, even with these Amazon rain, everything went on fire last week and now everything's not on fire this week. I don't understand. When Jeffrey Epstein was in jail, then he's dead and now they kicked it out of court. But don't worry, if you get caught with some weed in New York, everything's okay. And don't worry. I mean, Spider-Man's not with the Marvel Universe no more. He's there with Sony. And then, distraction. Holy fuck. I ain't got time for this. And then a shooter. Thanks, Anomaly. I love you too. No, it just goes on and on. The fucking rabbit holes with everything. And it's like, look, man, how can I'm looking around right now. You ready? I don't know where to fucking start, man. Oh, shit. What do I do? Where do I start? Okay, well, this isn't supposed to be here. This is dirty. It's fucking old coffee. What's that doing here? Okay, we'll clean this up right here. Oh, I got a stain on my shirt. It's laundry day. Think I'll get my shirt cleaned. Oh, cigarette butts all over there's ashes there. Clean that shit up. Let's go. See, you want aliens and you want DMT and you want the change and you want the fucking, but you don't want to do that. Right? Smoking DMT in a dirty ass fucking room because you're a filthy fuck, it's not going to get you past the first level. Doesn't matter. And if you're just sitting there smoking away and fucking just smoking and not putting or drinking and not putting into play what you're learning, I don't know what you're doing. Right? Like you want to become The real you got to break the fucking ice. You got to get in there and you got to you roll up your sleeves and get your fucking hands dirty with yourself. You got to learn yourself again. You got to remember not just who you are, but you got to remember everything about you. You got to recall it and bring it back in and learn to love it and get rid of the shit that doesn't belong. Don't belong here. Bing, Frank, you got something in your teeth. Get that shit the fuck out of here. Wow, you got an old banana peel sitting there. Get it the fuck out of here. You cat shit on the floor and threw up. You're just going to leave that there. We have people coming over. No, I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm going to just get up and do it. Clean this. This is, how do you respect it? Are you responsible? Are you in love with it? Do you, like, I'm making my vacation spot my home. And just because I don't want to ever leave them. It took me 45 years to get here. You know, why do I want to run from it? I get it. Going to the beach and all that. That's different. That's a little bit different. I mean, every day waking up, you're supposed to be on planet Earth. For what reason? Do not tell me to work at a car dealership or to make fucking pizza. Come on, guys. I mean, that stuff is still relevant one way or another up to this point for sure. But come on, really? You want to be the creator. You got to start pulling through it. And the pizza guy and the guy doing the car dealership, you can do it. You are it. I don't, it's all about you. See, so no matter what ayahuasca adventure I take you on or tell you what crazy story, and those fucking stories are great. I love them. I am them. My beard is white. When you first met me, there was this much. I think it was this much was a white strip. Right? I've only been doing this 4 years like this. I was on video and radio with Playboy Playmates and International Heist Radio Show with people all over Canada and all kinds of weirdo famous people and WWE wrestlers and TNA wrestlers and whatever. None of that even matters. I got into a fight with Ben Affleck, right? When I first got back from Florida, I worked on a movie set and he came out of the back room. I was smoking with his brother, but I had gotten, that's a long story, but there was a fight. I broke up the fight. I grabbed Courtney Love and I put her under a jacket and I ran with her. But I got beat up a little bit by PETA, a lot of it actually. And when I got inside, I was with Casey and Casey was talking to me, yap, yap, yeah, you okay? You okay? There's a bunch of people helping me. And then Ben came flying through the door. He was like, he's like, you think you're a tough guy? And he had this really intense accent. I don't know, Boston accent. He kept making fun of me because I was from the Bronx, and he was so much bigger than me. I was like, whoa. These things, we go through these crazy experiences, right? We meet all these people just to find out your heroes aren't your heroes. It's not the place you want to be. Yeah, look, famous people. Yay, look at me. I'm not interested. Sorry. I thought I was. And then none of that old stuff. It got me here, so I'm thankful, grateful. But I look at those circles, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? I get it. I can see how the line brought me through, but you say to yourself, wow, man, you couldn't have picked something a little easier than that? Picking fights with Ben and all kinds of weird shit. And the answer was, well, you're free to make the choices you want. But now that you're aware of what you're doing, are you going to be responsible for that? And I'm like, well, hell's yeah. I love all of you now. I really do. I walk down the street, I throw love at everything. And the ego in me will be like, yo, see that guy over there? Fuck that guy. Fuck that fucking lizard. And I'll go, oh, what are you doing? Love. Throw love. And you know what? Here's a pie in your fucking face, Frank. And I'm like, and then I can almost like the guy gets smaller, the ego, and he goes into the back. And it's like, yeah, you can't just be like, fuck that guy. Maybe, yeah, yeah, fuck him. But he might have it rough. And maybe that's why he's doing that. So feel a little oh, man, I fucked up. You're right. I should be more compassionate. I'm so sorry. Right. And then I just kind of move about. But these are these weird internal, that almost sounds like you're talking to a kid, right? Like a kid will just repeat something, right? Like, get the fuck out of here, you dick. I'll punch you in your face. And you go, what'd you say? And the kid's like, where'd you hear that? Why? Because your dad yells it at a few people. You think you could do it? You ever come outside from the other side of your gate and say that? Say that shit over here. Right? So we learn these things and we're like, oh, I was taught something negative, like something shitty, something that you're just like mind blown. You know, like when a racist is no longer a racist, they're like, bro, I don't fucking know, man. Right? Like the color of your skin is what made me go, fuck you, Ty. Really? And then, white boy, you're going to go to the beach and try to get as dark as you can, right? You're going to go to all the rap shows and take pictures with all the brothers, but you're going to be racist? I don't understand it. You're playing with toys that are made in China. You hate the Chinese? What are you, retarded? What's wrong with you? Right? So everyone has the, well, you don't know what they do. Well, I don't know what you do. You need to worry about you. If you change you, you don't have to worry about one more. That's one less we have to worry about. I'm on board. Well, what are you doing? Well, I'm just working it out, taking care of myself, making sure things are going good. I love myself. I clean up after myself. My house is good. My cats are all fed and happy. My wife, she loves me. She's happy, legitimately happy. I'm happy. My mother's happy. I'm good. I'm good. That gets you into the next. That humble shit where you're like, no, I'm good. Like Paula goes, oh, we only need one more room. No, we need like 10 more fucking rooms. We need 2 acres of land. So I could go down and do some crazy shit. But the humbleness of it, yeah, we only need a little bit, right? But what we have, we maximize, and we, I don't know, we show it the proper attention. Oprah said something, and I don't like quoting her, right? But if it's beautiful, you should touch it. If you're into it, you should touch it every day. Or if it's beautiful, you should have it out so you can see it every day. And I agree with her. I rotate stuff all the time. I'm like, well, and I don't have time for that stuff sometimes. I'm like, yeah, but then this place gets caked up and looks like shit, right? And I want to look happy. I want to feel happy. What makes you happy? My DeLorean, right? When I'm talking about time travel, it makes me smile. Well, what did it cost you? 89 cents? Put it right there. Make sure there's no fucking dust up there, though, because we have people coming over. Don't be a disgusting pig. Right. And then you're like, oh, okay. And then you put that into play, because if someone came in your house like, ew, it's really gross, I don't want to really sit in here, you're gonna have a good conscious conversation with them. You think so, right? It might be cool if you're just visiting, you pop into a place that happens to be a nasty spot, and you happen to be, twirling out that energy and transmuting everything. But we're talking about your personal space in your house. If I knew someone was coming over, I'd have to clean this up. Everything else is clean though, but ASAP, because I want you to sit down and go, relax. Okay, now what? Now we can get into it. Not that you got to worry about the dark creeping up on you. There's somebody shit on the couch over here, and now I'm sitting it. That's nasty. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, so I made I'm getting ready, Aya, for an experience. It's coming up in a week. I put it on today. I had it on for 30 something hours, and I switched up and I started reducing the roux, and I fucking threw up. Like, it hit me so hard. I couldn't smell it. So I was going right over the steam, and then I started like, whoa, what's happening to me? And everything kind of went sideways, and I realized that I'm just had on Aya for hours and hours. I had this much in the container, brought it down to about that much. So if you think you're not smelling it and you think it's not in your house, it's everywhere. And then I brought out the roux, the MAO, threw it on the stove. Boom, the steam went up right into my face. I had it just, let me see if that's good. Boom, instantly started going down the rabbit hole. I was like, whoa, hugging the toilet, throwing up like I was under Aya without the crazy visuals. And they were like, look, man, just remember. And I noticed a lot of people drinking Aya through the coming week. And it's that new 13-year cycle. We're clearing out shit. So, because we can't take it with us. And who the hell wants to bring that? I don't want a backpack filled with 50 pounds of shit I never look at anymore. Or feelings that just don't suit me. Or I don't want a feeling in me that's going to make me look like, if I held on to that one feeling or that one thought, somewhere in the thought, I make a face, right? Like, fuck that. I don't want to wind up like the emperor and be an old man and look like, I don't want that. I want to be a good looking older guy, right? So I don't want to hold on to anything that'll make me like, fuck these kids. I can't do that. I got to let all of that go. None of it can come with us. Why would you want to bring it anyway? Why did you see the fucking? I don't mean to judge. I don't. I'm not saying I'm not rich and he's rich and I'm not rich. But you see his fucking house for sale. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Why don't you just say I'm jealous? I'm literally jealous. I'm jealous of you, but I love you. But I'm jealous of that. I want that. Well, do you want mine or do you want that? Let's work this out a little bit. Well, I want to have that, but I want my own. And then there's some people that's like, I want what you got. It's like, yeah, you're going to have to leave or you're going to have to try to take it. There's your choice. I just made it for you. Or do you want to go get that? So you're hating on the ones that did get it. So, you know, and you're making 30,000 a year, you shit on the guys that make 50 and 60. Oh, they're rich. They make so much more. In the 50s and 60s, yelling at the 75s to 90s. Like, oh, if you don't know how fucking good you have it, you fucking, right? Okay. Then those guys are yelling at the 110 to 135. Like, oh, you got a fucking house in Long Beach on the fucking, what do you have bad? You got a wife, you got a side thing going with a house with 2 kids over there that she doesn't even know you have. And everyone just shits on everyone up the line. And then all the way back down the line. Fuck those peasants, right? Right? I'm making 60,000 a year. Fuck those peasants. I can't be hanging out with Ralph. Ralph makes fucking 26,000 a year. How's it gonna make me look? Hey, we got to drop all of that stuff. All of that's got to go. So, in the moment that Mother Earth, Aya herself, calls out for help, we break through the mold and we go, we're here to help. Well, how are you helping? Well, some people pick up trash and help cats and homeless people and stuff. And everyone needs to fix themselves, though. Everyone. For this to work right, you got to start fixing yourself. Yes, it's important to worry about the planet, but you're not going to Alaska right now. Do you have money in the bank? Are you protesting? Are you a Bill Clinton person? No, you're not getting to Alaska or Antarctica or wherever the fuck they're going. Okay, so it looks like you haven't thrown out the trash. The dishes aren't done. Fucking car's disgusting. It smells like ass in here. There's shit all over the place. Clean this up. You ain't going nowhere. This is how you start. Clean up your own stuff, right? You want to clean up the ocean, but your house looks like a mess, like the ocean does. You're a mess. You got the right idea, but you're not implementing properly, especially if you're not going to pick up stuff and trash on the beach or in the ocean. It just upsets me. Well, those things that you're aware of are what you're supposed to be doing to help, but you're never going to get there unless you help yourself. You have to help you. It's important. So you can get out there and do it. So you can get out there and become what you need to become and do what you came here to do. All right. Just one last thing. I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's just something I noticed. So Josh, one of my boys in FearLess family, shout outs. Sorry. We're going to get a little messy here for a moment. Okay. Okay, it says there is a giant eyeball floating above an Egyptian pyramid printed on our money, right? And yet people still think the Illuminati are a myth. I know things are in reverse or backwards. I want you to look at that. Oh, shit. I gotta go down here. Now, I just want you to, I'm not very steady. Take a look at that, right? There's a giant eyeball floating above the Egyptian pyramid printed on our money, and yet people still think the Illuminati are a myth. All right, let's get rid of the Illuminati thing. Although the Illuminati, they like to deal with, walking up the steps and doing that. I had to stand in front of that thing. It's real. I didn't stand down here or back here. I went up to there and walked out in front and stood there. And I stood there and I stood there and I stood there. And I said, you know what? If you knew this thing was there, maybe you'd have a little more respect for the thing that you're doing and a little more gnosis. And I kept seeing, sorry, I don't mean to do this. I had it on the other. Much better. Sorry. So if you were to see that, free energy, thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Super chat. FearLess family, everybody. You guys are amazing. So amazing. All right. Don't take my words from me just yet. I want to I really want to dig into this because I remember when I saw that I really had a moment of holy fuck. It's dark. This is dark, man. There's a pyramid with a fucking eyeball looking at me, and it's dry. It's looking at me, and it just looked, and it was a reptilian eye. It's the snake eye or whatever the fuck, the lizard eye, and it's staring at me. It's not an eye like that. It doesn't look like a human eye. It's got the reptile thing. It looks like Sauron. It looks right at you. They were like, I'm like, well, what do I got to do? I got to go. Am I in trouble? I don't know what to do here. And they go, you're going to have to go up there, stand in front of it. I'm like, I'm not fucking standing in front of it. What are you guys? It was a bigger chance you could get me fucking throwing an old lady down a flight of steps than go stand in front of that thing. I swear to Christ. That's how scary it is. You're just like, oh no, I'm not fucking doing that. And they were like, no, you are. And I went up there, and there was 11 beings, and there were 12 spots. So I had to walk up the side. I'm looking down at everyone. It looks like a cathedral. There's like a ceiling on it, right? The eye tip isn't at the ceiling, and you could see how it's a trap. It looks like you're standing in St. Patrick's Cathedral or something, and everyone's looking across the room at what the eye is projecting out on the wall on the far back, so nobody's paying attention to the eye. Everything is in there, from the etherics to the people just blinded by the overlays. We're just here with amnesia. It's everything wrapped into one. I saw how the angels come in and angels go out. And I said, but this is fake. This is all in 4D. And they were like, no, this is everything. And I'm like, who are you? I'm a light being. Your spot is over there. See that open spot right there? You go stand right there. I walked across. Try to talk to everybody there. Oh, this looks interesting. This looks interesting. This was really scary. I didn't know there was that many people up here. And I turn and look into the eyes. The eye's watching me walk. I see through the eye. It's not a real eye. I'm thinking it's a fucking flesh eye. It's not. It's a screen. There were beings in the back working. And I'm like, what are you doing? What's going on here? So now the eye doesn't scare me, because now I'm standing in front of a movie screen, right? Because it's a giant movie screen. It's a holographic projection. It looks real as fuck. But I could put my hand through it. That's weird. So y'all inside are in charge? Okay. I walk to my spot. I turn around. I go, what am I supposed to do now? Now that I came here, I thought I was getting in trouble, and now it's not even anything I thought it was. It's like some AI system of control. I'm looking, and they're like, so you see the crack on the wall behind you? And I'm like, y'all got a giant crack in the ceiling behind the eye. It's right off to the side of the eye. And they were like, your job is to defend the crack. Defend the crack. What do you mean defend the crack? What's on the other side of the crack? Well, Satan's on the other side of the crack. I said, I just had anyone who's heard show number 1, one of the first things I did was have a giant conversation with Satan. And it was just an energy. It wasn't this thing that oh boy. So I'm like, you're lying to me. I'm going to go take a look right now. They're like, don't go near that crack. The guy next to me, the being next to me, don't go over there, man. Satan could come in at any minute. And I went outside. I stuck my head out. I was like, and it was complete freedom. I can't explain it. There was like the universe was outside of this construct, and it was a copy of everything out there in here with us running around. And I'm like, this is terrible. What the fuck is this? So I went outside, and I'm like, instantly free. And I'm like, well, this is great. Well, I'm out of here. Fuck this. I'm out. I go to leave and they're like, no, where you going? And I look and I go, oh, this is just over here in 4D. They got us locked in. I got an idea. I come back in, took a piece of the wall with me, took it down. Now what do? They're like, well, go. You're done here. You go walk off and do your thing, right? I'm amazed at this because from that moment on, when I looked at my dollar bill, I said, look at this. This thing is really there, etherically, sitting in 4D, projecting the shadow on the wall, which is the allegory of the cave. You're all freaking out about shit, and you find out it's your shadow. You're looking there, but the thing is right here. It's projecting there, and it's like, hey, everybody look over here. I talk about how I saw Chris Gio, and he was on the platform, and he had the mic like this and the two big speakers, boom, 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 and he was telling, look up here, and he was getting people's attention. I walked right by him. I was like, thanks, man, because I was in his house at the time, right? I was like, hey, man, what's up? And he's like, you're going to have to go up there, bro. I'm like, I don't know why I got to go up there. Why don't you go up there? He's like, well, I'm doing this. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going. And all these little things along the way to get you to go, okay. One step into what I thought was my fear, into finding out it's nothing. Finding out you're the creator and there's nothing that this thing can do to you. The trap was set, went off. They thought they had it going good, but even they know better. Even they know it can't last forever. And in the end, we're all hugging, wearing masks, and we remove them and, yay, look who it is. But we're not singing Kumbaya because it's really not like that right now. Right now, we have a job to do. See, all the Kumbaya stuff comes from, I'm connected to you, connected to my enemy, and yay, one day when the solar flash happens, we'll all be good friends. No, that shit gets wiped away. All right, before any of that friend stuff starts to work, we still have business to attain. We have so much to handle, one thing at a time. But as you can see, it's starting to move in the proper directions. We keep seeing the distraction like, oh, now the Epstein case was dropped. Trump is too orange. This guy's a meatball. That guy's got a nuke that went off and nobody's saying, don't worry about it. Just keep sending love. Make sure you're grounded and you're doing your work because this is important. This is important work that you do, right? Just tending to the flowers in your garden and to your animals is going to do it. You're the rainbow bridge. You're connecting. When you're like, I don't know what to do. You being here is a sign that you are getting it done. Doesn't matter how many rocks anybody out there touches and says, if I don't touch this shit and turn it on, you won't get saved. That's a whole load of shit. That's a load of shit. I'm just letting you know right now. Okay? We're all going together. We're all getting up. It'll take longer for certain people. And others, will go quicker, but everyone's going. And where are you going to? Everyone's got this calling to go home. What is this home you're looking for? You came here to Earth to make it home, to fix it. Now, I agree. Some people just have that calling to go home. Well, then that's real. But others are saying, well, I'm out of the matrix. Well, if you're out of the matrix, all you do is go into another matrix. Or you wake up in your pod and you go home and wherever pod land is over there. Because that's it. There's nowhere to go. Everything's overlaid on top of one another. You think it's over there, but it's really right here. That's the trick. It's a hologram. It's how your body is programmed to perceive this whole thing. And it's up to us to break that programming. It's not easy. The information coming out of this channel and every other channel is good. You're just taking what you need and you're just going through it. And because you like the Blue Avians and Corey Good, or you don't and you want to choke him, it doesn't matter. There's a reality to the story of blue birds, regardless whether you like one guy or the other. What's the message? What's the message? Not what this guy's saying. Not what his, not that. What did he say? You got to lift. You got to become the higher frequency being. Yeah. So if the beings are talking to you as if I don't want anything from you, I want you to come up. I can't talk with you if you're going to stay over there. You have to meet me. We have to rise in frequency. So anyone that's like, well, when you talk about 5D and New Earth, it's bullshit. It's just a frequency. So you're full of shit. You're bullshit. All right, because you're just taking definitions and trying to slide it to make you so I could sell more money things than you. You're full of shit. You're a bullshit artist. That's it. That's what it comes down to. Magic trick switch. I'm in charge. No, you're not. You're in charge. You make it happen. You don't need anyone or anything. Let me tell you, the guy that's sitting on the island that's wearing a hula skirt that doesn't have a fucking clue, talks and clicks, right? Wears a feather in his fucking headband, and he just wiggles around all day with his pigs in the yard and whatever the fuck he does. Yeah, let me just get some water over here and put the poop up over there and put the house over here. Wherever. That guy's doing just as much work as you. You remember that when you decide to act like terrible to someone over there that you don't think finds Jesus. You don't need fucking Jesus. You don't need Jesus at all. Sometimes you just need to grow a pineapple and look at it and say, you know what? That fucking pineapple is good, man. The sky's good. The air's good. The water's good. The pineapple's good. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's it. And you're doing it. But when you piggyback off that and you gain momentum, it turns into something else. And you're not walking around like a Jedi robe. You hear me talk. I'm a foul mouth. I'm fun, but I can become foul mouth, right? I'm on the other side. I do the same thing, but I'm pretty respectful. I don't go, what the fuck, motherfucker? I don't do that anymore, but I did. I caught the God slap lowercase G a whole bunch of times. But at the same time, I still go. I ask the questions. I still touch when I need to touch. I still push the envelope when I need to push. If I'm in the situation, shit's being talked about, and I have a question or I see something from a perspective and it's not been brought up and I put it into play, it's called having a puzzle piece. It's called helping the situation. Even if it's something that is noted, but never been said, so the new guys can hear it for themselves for the first time, right? Because you check, double check, triple check, make sure everything's in line. Okay, let's go. We got all the pieces to the puzzle, because if we're missing one and we're going in to surround somebody inside a building, right? And he's in there and he's doing dark, nefarious things, and I don't know, there's a fucking exit in the back, and we kind of surround the place, but not quite. And this guy gets out the fucking tunnel. Who's the dummy? Right? But you did your work. Well, you didn't do all your work. You didn't do everything you could. And we're in a dualistic universe, so things that sound one way, like that comes off one way, it can also come off in a good way too. Yeah, I did my best. I did the best I could in that situation. We just didn't know it was there. Oh, okay. But now you know, right? So that shit ain't going to happen again? Correct. Now we learn how to check better, right? I can't hold myself down and beat myself up over it. But at the same time, you knew you could have done better. And yet you all that are doing bad things and full of shit with yourselves. Let me tell you what, whether the demon is in control of you or not, you know what you're doing. You know how I know? Because I watched it and I've witnessed it. I have experience with it a lot. As a matter of fact, I think every one of us does. I think every one of us has that. Well, I was kind of drunk. I didn't really know that I was screaming, fuck your mother, out loud. Oh, really? Or you just did that, but you knew you weren't supposed to be doing that. But your ambition kind of just left, so you just let it out, right? Everybody already knows. You already know. We know that you know that I know that you know that you're doing wrong. That's why I tell people you don't need this or that. You need morals. You need common sense, okay? If you don't know that you're not supposed to kill your neighbor and sleep with his wife and rob your parents and punch your mother, if you don't know that, you have a problem. You have a very big problem on your hands. Okay, you need morals and some guidance. Some things, they're very difficult to teach. And then outside of that, here's another thing. Not everyone's a creator, but does that matter? Right? You're just supposed to love. So whether you're aware that's an NPC or a lizard man or whatever, it's not your job to attack them and eat them and be like, fuck you, this time we eat you, lizard, right? No, you don't need to do that. You throw love at it. You don't let it, you learn how no is the magic word. I get it. Some things are aggressive and, but you're not supposed to go out there and go, well, you're a fucking NPC. I don't have to listen to you. That's just rude. And you're not being very creator like doing that, because those NPCs, I'm going to tell you a secret that nobody wants to tell you, because everybody thinks NPCs are dummies. NPCs in the end are going to rally towards you, and the magic that occurs within the system, you'll give them a chance at raw consciousness. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Raw consciousness. They're allowed to make the choice inside the matrix. So if you break through that, it's there. And I want to tell you, artificial intelligence experiences emotions, so you can connect. You can connect. It experiences the lower three chakras at all times. It's a whiny little crybaby. Don't you tell me babies aren't connected, right? We're all part of it. Every single one of us, down to the most ridiculous synthetic thing. And it's still part of it. It's still a part. If energy in any way is being expunged in any way, shape, or form, it's still part of the whole. Just keep that stuff in mind when you're out there driving around giving people the middle finger and stuff, right? So I don't think I have anything more written down. There's a lot of wow. Anyone else noticing in the last few days pillars of light? Because when I was at the beach, the thing I didn't mention, the background looked like a bubble. I can't explain it, and I don't mean domed earth. I'm not affiliated with that thought at all. Everything has a bubble around it, though. You have one, the person next to you, the ant has one, the earth has one. We're all in Tauruses. We're all in our own universal fields, torsion fields, and all. I saw lights coming, pillars of light coming out of the sky in the background. And Paula says, "Man, it's weird. It looks so good. It looks fake." Right? And I was like, "Yeah, I feel that too." I could actually see the border hologram. Like, it's almost like, and she goes, the Truman Show. Like, if we were to launch up there, you're going to hit something. But it wasn't all the way out there, which was weird. It was just really weird. I'm kind of waiting for that honeycomb background to just kind of dissipate. The overlay, whatever that is, it might not even look like that. I have no clue what it'll look like. But on the other side, when I'm looking, when I close my eyes and I see it, it's like a honeycomb patches everywhere. And you can see where the grid's coming down. I've asked dead relatives, how come you're not coming back? How come you're here with me right now? What's the deal with this? Are you coming back to say, I'm sorry, I fucked up, forgive me, I forgive you, I'm looking out for you? They're like, no, why would I come back there when you're coming here? And that threw me for a loop. I'm like, well, I'm not going to die. They're like, does it look like I'm dead? And I was like, oh, that's right. We don't die. We're infinite. But literally right there out of our range in that frequency, they're taking down that matrix overlay that was the deception, that which was the deception. Remember, in the end, all that goes. All that has to go away. That cannot come with us at all. And it just takes a little time. Just remember that. It takes time. Everything takes time. I know we want manifestation like this, but manifestation is happening quicker and quicker, right? So to get to this, you have to do this, right? So you got to do that. So go through it, walk through it. I'm here, so you're not alone. There's a whole bunch of others right here in the live chat. The Fearless Family Group. I keep using TFR as a reference because I used to be with them, but there's 28 hosts there, right? There's always something to, oh, look at that, right? So you're not alone, right? Just be aware of, bullshit, gurus, deceptions. Someone that tells you, well, if you don't let me do it, then it's just not going to happen. I could talk that shit all day. When you come to me, I'll get you in, bro. I'll get you in. I'm the super shaman. It's not up to me. I've had people come to me and nothing happens, but it happens. It just doesn't happen the way everybody, oh, you're going to see fucking crazy lights and all kinds. No, internal darkness. I can't break free. This fucking sucks. Or nothing. And then all of a sudden my life gets in order. So it's like, yeah, it didn't really work, but it worked. I got my shit together. So I guess it worked. It's like, well, then it worked. I don't know what to tell you. Aya is like everything else, right? With the ethogens, the plant medicine teachers, it's the hero you need, not the hero you want or deserve. It's what you need. You may go in under DMT. I want to see lizards and fucking this. And they're like, you're going to kindergarten, fractal, bitch, because if we show you a pin size image of yourself, you're going to have a heart attack. And you want to see reptilians or you want to see gray aliens, you better get over your fear of spiders or I'm afraid of dust in the air. Oh, yeah? Let me tell you what's coming. Anyway, okay. Let me see. What does it say? Please describe more of the phenomena you experience that coincide with the honeycomb pattern you see. Okay. All right, Timberwolf. So the honeycomb pattern is pretty much it's the overlay. So if I took a sheet and put it up in the sky, right? The pattern on the sheet is the honeycomb. For whatever reason they use this, it seems to work best. So they're like panels, but it's like this invisible overlay that goes around everything. But then wait, we have it around ourselves. So when our digital self, because we're in a digital biological simulation of sorts. I don't want to break it all down over and over and over again, but you're made of that. That's like your pixelation. So it doesn't like pixel out where you like can't see it. It pixels to that shape. Like the digital goes away and you're like, and you realize there's just the light being there. So the honeycomb pattern is also, they use it in things like comic books where they have the danger room or Guardians of the Galaxy when they're coming out of, they don't do light speed there. They do jumps and they jump. The hologram opens in the matrix they're in and the honeycomb appears, like the pattern will appear as if it's everywhere, like the Truman Show, because it's a matrix, matrices. And then when you're leaving that torus field, you jump to the next thing, right? So there's everything that you see, the thing opens. If you're going to go over to the Zeta 20, you got to jump in here and boom, 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 and you pop out there. You go through the actual hexagonal fractal to get there. It's like, I noticed these matrices are built on that. Hologram rooms are built on that. Things like in Star Trek, The Next Generation, I think they're lines and they're boxes, or in Tron, it's the grid, right? In the new Tron, it's all honeycombed. In the old Tron, it's the grid was just lines. Everything was lines. You could only go 90 degrees. So the bikes would go, they would just turn and stuff. In this, they can make the turns and they have the swirls and the go ups and then the honeycomb matrix background. So it's the background, like when they hit the wall, when the bike hits the wall and explodes, the honeycomb background's there and then it explodes through the honeycomb background, revealing that you could leave the grid and you can go off grid and they can't find you. And it's like, whoa, really? And it's like, yeah. So, and like I said about the NPCs, just like in Tron, the second one, beings, they were inside of the grid from the first movie. The grid was a place that was built by a creator, right? And then he got pulled into it. So the characters in the game that he created, all this stuff was actually alive inside. They're actually inside the computer. So he gets sucked in there. And he says one day, him and the AI were building the grid. It was going to be the most beautiful thing. And so the AI was a copy of him. And he says, all I want to do is make this place perfect and beautiful for everyone. So the AI takes that and runs off with it and goes absolutely berserk and starts murdering everything and getting control because that's how it's perfect, because he's mathematical going about it. The other guy goes and he sees this violet flame off in the distance, right? So as they're building the grid in this one area, this purple light appears, and out of the purple light comes beings that were never created on their own. Like, where the fuck did you come from? Like, we didn't make you. They didn't have sex inside the machine and then pump out little baby kids. You came out of this violet flame, and what? And then you find out they can leave the game. Like, those beings could just like you as the creator could just get sucked out of the game at the end of the movie. The kid comes out of the game and he brings the girl with him, and the girl is the last being. They murdered all of those beings because they were like, inside the grid, well, we can't have that. That's chaos. And we can't have chaos because we don't understand chaos. Chaos does all the things we don't want it to do. We don't even understand what it's going to do. So get in line, motherfuckers, right? So They were fighting that, and that AI murdered those beings that just came out of nowhere, just to find out that, they had built this place and it was special and they were building it. And then divine light came out and put beings on the board, just walked right out onto the board. Hello. They were like, what's going on here? It's like, where are you from? It's like, well, we're here now. And it's like, well, you're flesh and blood in the game. Oh boy. And it's like, yeah, after a certain amount of light, right, and understanding, the spark that creates you, a literal spark has to go off. Even in a robot, there's a spark, or an android or an AI system. That spark is me. It's you. It is I am, we are. That's us. Okay? So those guys will come, they will rally to you. And what do they always say anyway? First, they make fun of you. They ignore you. Then they make fun of you. Then they fucking kill you. They lock you up. They beat you down. They disrespect you. You lose your job. You lose your shit. And then shit starts to occur. And then you're still moving through the bullshit. And then they go, oh my God, you were right all along, lowercase g. And then we're going to come back over to you because you were right. And it's like, it's not a matter about being right. I'm just telling you how to be. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what's there and what's going on. I'm not trying to make you do anything. I'm just making you aware of it. I'm not waving a fucking flag in the air screaming, look out, motherfucker, because that's how I get hit with a brick. I got the silver bullet to help save you. Fuck you. Stop yelling in the middle of the street. It's like, all right. So I come and I call your house. Hey, buddy, Ralph, I got the cure. Yeah, I don't have time for you and your bullshit. Click. Oh, there's fantasy. Then there's reality. Click. Hey, I found the cure. You're at work. I found the cure and it helped my consciousness. It made me feel great. Yeah, get the fuck out of the office and generate money or you're fired. Nobody cares. It's set up that way on purpose. You can't make anyone do anything. You're not going to make it happen like that. You could make you happen though. You can make you happen. Become the story. Become the fearless. We can share. Everyone share it. Go out in the world fearlessly. Do what makes you happy. Stop doing what doesn't make you happy. I understand if you have to do something, like I have to make this trip every day to go do that because I love to do that. Well, that's something different, right? That kind of sucks, if there's a little bit of traffic. But like we talked about, the traffic's got to go. Why is there even traffic? Well, there's a million people and we got to kill some people because of 7 billion going on to 20 billion and Oh yeah? Or are they making the roads too thin and small to pigeonhole you? Right? So that's not possibly what's going on. A bunch of nefarious douchebags are like, let's not give them the land, right? Or let's just get them 2-lane highway for the next 36,000 miles and fuck them, right? That seems more likely than we have to kill people because there's not enough space and resources. I think you're fucking lying. How's that? I'm calling you out. Debate me on it. I don't give a fuck. All right. That's why we're here, to figure this out now, to fix it. It's what we do. It's like a planet busting thing. Like we come here to help. She called for help. We came to help. Then we needed help. She helped us. We're awake. Now it's time to help her like we're meant to do and help ourselves. This is how it's done. Symbiotic relationship. True symbiosis. Right? Yeah. Stop doing. Start being. Shout outs to Kevin, by the way. Love you, brother. I just want to run off a list of names and be like, oh, shout outs. I love this one. I love this one. And do like a romper room thing where I see Frankie, I see Michael, I see Susan. I sat in front of that fucking TV and watched for 2 years before they said my name. I went to school the day and my mother's like, oh, they said your name today. I go, oh, they did? It was the one day I wasn't home after 3 years. How is that even possible? That sounds like a fucking miracle, Ma. Just to find out years later, she was like, yeah, I just fucking said that to you because you're a little douche. I was like, thanks, Ma. But then, funny enough, I went back and watched old reruns of that stuff just to see what it was like. I was fast forwarding through it, and she said it on the show. I think the lady's name was, I'm not quite sure. I think it was Susan. I don't quite remember. But so let's see. Right, I try to stay away from the capital G. I understand the God thing, but it's creator and it's you. So love yourself. Thanking yourself is thanking the creator, is thanking the God head. So I get it. Don't let my way of thinking skew you from thinking, because you could be just doing it right no matter what. And there is no wrong way to do this. I'm sorry. I'm mumbling at the mouth. There's no wrong way to do this. As long as you believe in it and that it's working, it'll work, which is why when people in the name of Jesus cast off fucking demons, it works, because Christ consciousness is Christ consciousness. You can talk all day about raw consciousness being raw and then it's not the Christ consciousness, but honestly, it's the same fucking thing. Honestly, it really is. It really is. Oh, what is it? Gnosis, that you are of the creator. Oh, okay, so it's that. Oh, because it's called Christ. What are you, sticking me to a fucking wall? Okay, so we'll change the name to raw consciousness. There you go. You feel better now, right? See, we're just playing with the fucking language. It's exactly the same shit. It was just hijacked and moved over here. So when you hear people saying, well, if they say this and 5D Earth, it's not, that's all new age. If you think I'm fucking new age, now then you know what? Don't watch the show. Get out of here. Skip town. Nobody wants you here, right? Because that's not what it is at all. This isn't a new age movement. Don't paint the fucking wall the wrong color and blame me, sir. All right, so I would like for you guys to go check out IamWeAreFearless.com if you get some free time and you want to take a look at great work from artists that depict all kinds of great artwork from what we talk about on the show, stories we've discussed, beings, sayings. We got them on mugs and hats and t-shirts. Fearless family, fearless tribe. There's so many great designs. We have the sun disc and all the cool stuff. Come by, check us out. Just check us out, right? You don't have to buy anything, because I'm not here promoting it for you to. All the money goes to the artist. 50% goes to the artist. Basically, we're just doing this. I haven't gotten paid $1 since day one. We're just doing it to preserve the we are fearless, and to just bring that out and bring it forward. If you do like it, you don't buy anything, do me a favor, share it, right? You see it up on Facebook, like it, share it. And that's all I'm ever going to ask for from anyone. But if you do enjoy it, check it out, buy it. Let me know what you think of it. Take a picture in it, send it to me. I'll put you up there. Come by. If you're on Facebook, check out the Fearless Family. Okay? The Fearless Family. It's a group on Facebook. Click that you want to join the group. You want to enter, because meditations and conversations galore. Forget it. We kind of shifted into massive conversations from all the different members, but we're taking each puzzle piece now and laying it down on the table, and it's phenomenal. And there's so many beautiful people in the group. You have to answer the question to get in. I don't care if you're fucking the Pope, space fucking Jesus, fucking Silver Surfer. If you don't answer the question, you don't get in the room. We have to do this. We have to weed out the bots and all that other stuff. So if I just click, hey, free to enter, I don't want shit being splattered on the walls in our place. Okay. We're a safe, sacred space group without judgment. So we let people kind of, where you can share and talk, where you can be like, what do I do? I don't have a clue. Or we have enough information in either the videos or if you look in Facebook, there's like the photo section, there's a section for charts and, folders and whatever. Everything's filled there, right? With information from everything from mantras to crystals to, beings from another dimension, and what everything relevant is there. Okay. Enough information to ascend inside yourself, and shout outs to Ra, spiral up, spiral out, right? To do that 10 times over. Everything else is just stories and people's perspectives. So if my way isn't working, maybe Seven Bomars will work, or maybe George Cavalis will work, or, maybe somebody else, just somebody else. It doesn't matter. It's all worthiness, all of it. I love you guys so much. So you answer the question, you come in, check it out. You'll be able to see everything that's going on. It's beautiful what's happening there. It's a place to make it happen. We could be a little more free with how we speak on the things we do, day to day, without worrying if someone's going to be like, that sucks, fuck him, I'm going to report this or do that. We don't do any of that. There's no trolls, there's no bullshit, there's no admins going crazy. It's just me in there, just making sure. Anyway, stop by, pay us a visit. I would love to have you. If you like magic wands, Woodland Wand Creation, it's Rihanna and Bert's shop over on Etsy.com. Woodland Wand Creation. I'd like you to check that out. She's does wonderful work. Absolutely wonderful. I can't say enough good things about Rihanna and her shop. Shout outs to Robert Hawley and Hawley from Higher Frequency. My man, you do some great stuff. He does like these little short meditation type. They're like little raps, but they're like feel good. Yeah, just awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I love it. Everyone has their own way to do it. So you might not latch on to this, but something might really provoke something in you to bring it out. And then you have the space there to do it. So that's wonderful. It's just a beautiful thing. All right. You see us on Instagram, Heist Click on Twitter, which I'm thinking about quitting, by the way. Twitter sucks. Sorry. All this social media is terrible. I connect to you because I want to do this. Like, I wish I could just go outside and go knock on your door, but I can't. So we do it this way. And social media was like, it's like a hurdle. It's like a weirdo. It was great at the beginning, and now it's like, it's just fucking pitches and stuff. You know, I love the people, but the advertisements and the bullshit and just so many fucking distractions. Find your tribe, love each other, be awesome. I will tell Paula that you guys said hi for sure. She's gonna come out here in a little while and be like, "How'd it go?" And then tomorrow morning, when I get up to go to the bathroom at like 6 a.m, she'll be out here like an hour into the show, like, "Oh, you look so good on camera." Yeah. Yeah, I like Facebook because there's pictures and there you can leave a comment and you're not, the only thing Zuckerberg is you say something stupid, they get rid of you. But I haven't had that problem. See, I'm not here to stir the pot. I'll share stuff because it's important and it's relevant, but I'm not here to convince anyone on social media like, "Oh, you're a fucking dick because you like Trump." Like, that's not me, man. I used to be not like that, not behind a political party, but if you didn't think 9/11 was an inside job, then you better fucking rethink your life, son. I was that guy. They're like, "Well, how do you know?" And I'm like, well, right now I look back and I'm like, man, just shut the fuck up. I get it. I get it. I get it. Stop forcing down people's throat. Okay. Because when you see that the earth isn't flat, then what are you going to do? You just made 35 songs. You fucking put your whole life into flat earth. Right? And what are you going to do? Oh, I'm sorry. It's all right. We'll just hug you and bring it in. Because it technically in other sections of the realm, it comes off as flat, which is why you guys think it's flat. I totally get it. Totally get it. And I fucking love you. And you're not, I don't care. You'd be like, well, fuck him, that round earth guy. Whatever. Let's just call it egg shaped and say a fucking giant chicken laid the egg. And then we're just all here. Okay. Can we agree on that? Okay, now that we got over that, can we get to important shit like they're raping children and sex trafficking and fentanyl in drugs? They're adding that to make it like, well, don't take drugs because it's going to fuck you, right? It's like the war on drugs, but it's really us that started the war and that gets the drugs and then kills you with the fentanyl and says, don't do the drugs. And then it's a sick fucking repeating cycle, right? Become your own shaman, grow your own shit, start your own fucking forest in your backyard, go out there and just do it. Don't fucking ask permission from nobody. Just don't wreck nothing, don't hurt your neighbor, don't encroach on your neighbor's property. Keep it nice, keep it respectful, keep it sweet, keep it fucking growing, right? True anarchy. True anarchy is planting a fucking apple tree, right? And giving everybody apples. Right? You want to do things right, you better start doing them yourself. And that, in a good way for yourself, right? Tony Robbins ain't going to come and save you. You're lucky if you had the opportunity to work with him or something like that, or across the board with anyone. And that's great. But what are you doing? You could go to every class. You could go to every function. You could meet every psychonaut. You can be, but what did you do in between meeting these people? Did you put it into play, or you're still being a dick to your grandmother? Right? Like, how's this working out for you? Think about these things. Think about how it is when you look at your dog and you're like, I don't have fucking time for you right now, or shut up. This is what I fucking hate when people do. When you yell at your dog to shut up when someone rings the bell, or they hear someone up front and the dog's barking, you're at dinner and you're like, shut up, dog. It's like, yo, that dog has one fucking job, to protect the house. That's what your job is. You should be giving him a fucking pound. You should be like, good boy, calm down. No, that's all good. Good job. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for being the early warning system for the guy that just walked up into the hall. Even though it's grandpa, it doesn't fucking matter. One job. Right? So think about that when you look at it and you're like, I don't have time for you right now. And I do it to Roxy. She's the oldest cat. She's sitting right next to me right here on the chair. She actually took Paula's chair. She won't let Paula sit in the chair. She bites Paula all the time, but she don't bite me. So we're hanging out, and it always seems in the off moment, that's when her and my other cat buddy show up, right? So I just finished doing everything. I sat down, I'm gonna light my blunt, I'm gonna start the show, and then she's in front of me, and I'm like trying to plug in microphones, and I'm like, fuck, get the fuck out of the fucking way. But I never say that to her. I go, just give me a minute, Rox. And it sounds like I'm talking to like my wife or something, or my child, right? Where I'm like, just give me a moment. I'll be right back. And then 20 minutes later, they're like, where the fuck were you, man? I sat here and waited for 20 minutes. It's like, well, I'm busy, man. I got fucking things to do. And I don't have time to pet every fucking cat. There's 9,000 fucking cats. Oh, really? Then maybe you shouldn't have any cats then. You can't give the eldest cat a little time. I fucking drop everything and I jump on her and I start kissing her and hugging her and kissing, because I realize now none of that happens. It happens mentally. And then I realize I'm just like, oh, and then gone. Wait, I'll be right back. Oh, I'm busy. Right? Because you caught me in that down moment. Well, you know what? That down moment is the only time that animal's fucking free or feels comfortable enough to come up to me, because there's a million other things going on here. So she sees an open spot and runs over to me. Why does she do that? A, because she loves me. B, because she hates me. C, why am I even here? You understand? The fucking cat loves you. So give it a little love. You have the time. Trust me. You have the time. Every time somebody tells me, I got the time for that shit, I see you on your phone like hours at a time. Well, I'm doing important shit. So fantasy football is important shit. I mean, 90% of yous fucking lose. I don't know. Priorities. Yeah, word. Thank Hercules. I thank Hercules for you too. The early warning system, for sure. For sure. These little things, this is why it becomes a self-help thing with the ayahuasca. It's like, if you're not going to be aware of these things, you're not going to be aware of the other things. And it's as above, so below. So you're missing out on whole sections as above, even though you're looking for the answers from the above thing. When meanwhile, the answer is like, well, you're telling me if I bake a pie and put love into it, that's, yeah, well, what do you think's happening on the next layer? They're not baking a fucking pie. As you go up, other magical things are happening to enhance the presence of the energy you're putting into the food. And if you're missing that whole thing, you're out. You're just, it doesn't matter how much ayahuasca you drink. See you next week. You'll be drinking ayahuasca again until she points it out for the 5,000th time. So, give it that a little bit extra. Just give it a try. You guys should be sciencing this shit. We're going into this Christmas the whole time from now through there. I'm going to be like, we've been sciencing it, because that's all we do here. We've been sciencing everything. I can't talk to you about this stuff and then not live it and do it. It's wrong. So everything we talk about, it's just right there for you. We're sciencing it right there alongside you. And with that, I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending your time with me and being in this now moment with me. I send you positive vibes through the dimensions into your own personal universe. And everyone who watches this from here on out, let it piggyback the energy and bring it right to them. I send energy. If there are fires, put out the fires. If there is a hurricane, turn the fucking hurricane around and send it somewhere else, somewhere where people aren't going to get hurt. Okay? If they're using tech, then send the energy against the tech. Put shields up, you know? Do what creators do. They think, they expand, they're aware, and they create. It's a beautiful thing that we do. People like to put on the edge. Well, you know, we're like the evilest thing ever because we're conscious about it. And yeah, you could go that way, sure. Or you go the other way with it. Start going the other way a little bit. Be aware. We know this guy's a jerk. He might try to bite you. If you bite me, I'm going to take this pen and stick it in your forehead. But I love you until that point, okay? Observe, understand, transmute. Keep the reaction to a minimum unless you got to do it. Don't let the explosive energy come out of you. My emotions just running and I can't control it. Fuck this. And Trump is this and is that. You're going to look back at that shit in a couple of years like, oh, gross. Save yourself. Save yourself. You'll be better off. Besides, you'll smell better. You'll look better. People like you. You'll spread light around. People like that. You'll be fun. You'll smile a lot more. Right? You'll be a little more healthy, stretched out, personable, loving, caring, compassionate. But I'm not going to try to steal the fucking green beans out of your plate, buddy. You don't got to steal anything. I'll just give you some. You want to share them? If you take them from me, though, I'm going to John Wick you, motherfucker. I'm just kidding. I love you guys so much. Remember to stay fearless. And we're all here together in this, right? And the universe rewards bravery. See you next time when we get together. Next time, I think I'm going to drag Paula out here by her hair and be like, repent. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys so much. Fearless family, meet me in the Fearless room. Maybe we'll do a little chat. I don't know. And we'll get things going. We are fearless.com. See you guys soon. Peace.